Let's talk about lists in Python. Now, lists in Python are just like lists in Snap. They're convenient because they allow you to store multiple values in a single variable. Okay, so let's take a look. So let's say I want to make a list called my list. The way I do it in Python is I use these square brackets and I separate all of the data inside the list by commas like this. Okay, so if I want to take a look at it, I can print it out and it'll show me what's in there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now a list is actually pretty flexible because you don't only need to store value of the same type. So in this list, I store all, these are called integers or ints for short. These are just whole numbers, but I can mix it up. I can say, let's make a new list, my list 2, and I can store a mixture of, say, integers, decimals, which are called floats, okay, or I can even store text, which are called strings. And when I want to deal with text in Python or most other computer languages, I put it in quotation marks like how I do here. So if I take a look at what's in there, okay, there's my stuff. Now notice when it prints it out, we're going to call this raw printing of our list because when I print it out using just a print statement and the entire name of the list, I get everything. So I get the square brackets. If there's a string, piece of text, I get the quotation marks around it. So we're going to call this, when I just print it with just one command like this, I'm going to call that raw printing. Okay, but a list is actually a really flexible and very useful data structure. So you use square brackets to set it off, commas between the so-called elements, pieces of data, and a list can store different types of data. You can store ints, whole numbers, floats, decimals, or strings, pieces of text in quotation marks.